What is up, YouTube? It is SpectreGame75 here today, and today we're playing Sakura Isekai Adventures 3. This is part 2. Here we go. Watch your step. The swamp here are bottomless. If you aren't careful, then you might find yourself being sucked in. Right. I glanced about the forest uneasily. It's still hard to see. Owing to how dense the fog is, I had to stick close to Legia if I don't want to get lost. Legia's now leading me and Scarlet and I through the forest, and an orb of magic sparkling in her right hand. I don't know very much about magic because I can't use it myself, but I think Legia is using that orb to guide us. With that orb and illumination our way, the fog isn't quite as thick and all-consuming as it once was. Sticking close to light to Legia's making our progress through the woods a good deal easier than it was. But Legia's magic isn't very strong, and her light can't fully penetrate the dense cloud of mana which hangs around us. Legia told us, after bidding us to follow her, that she could use this magic around her citadel, even if we cannot. I do not possess any magical abilities of my own, so Milady gave me this little orb to light the way when I need it. This orb was cast by Milady, so it isn't impeded by the fog. I don't have the same limitations that you do. This is proof of how much Milady trusts me, or that she doesn't take me seriously, I suppose. I don't believe she's ever once seen as a threat, and why would she? I am her most loyal maid. I can hardly believe that I am doing this myself. What in the world have things come to? I never think this would have come to pass. I'm still not entirely sure what it is that things have come to. However, Legia's being pretty cagey about that. She told us that her mistress was concocting some wicked scheme, a scheme which would endanger the lives of everybody in Anthem. That's why she gave that map to Dulce. Apparently she was the one behind all of that, and why she has been hoping so ardently for a band of brave adventurers to face Fury down. She wants someone to put a stop to Fury's machinations. What her machinations are, however, I still have no idea. I feel lost in all sorts of senses. This dense fog isn't really helping, and I'm still suspicious of Legia's motives. Easy now, Legia calls over her shoulder, holding the flickering orb of mana in her right hand. The trees are rather dense here, and there is a lot of foliage. You need to be careful not to trip. I think Milady has set up a few traps around here, too, to ensnare people fully hardly enough to venture this far into her domain. I can disable these traps if I notice them, but that's only if I notice them. If you get caught, I fear there might not be much I can do to aid you. My magic here is nowhere as strong as Milady, and it would be difficult for me to reverse any of her curses. That's just great. Scarlet harumphs as she glances about trying to peer through the fog. Everything about this is so screwy. What is screwy exactly? Did you not hear me? I just said it's everything. I can't believe we're here. We're really wandering through the woods with a demon of all people. This has to be one of the worst ideas I've ever had, and that's saying something. I've had lots of awful ideas in the past, like that time when I decided to combine cheese and candy floss. And how did that work out? It was disgusting, of course. Of course. Mina sighs. I feel rather perturbed that I have been entrusting my back to a woman who thought that spun sugar might pair well with cheese. What in the world possess you to try such an unpalatable combination of foods? I don't know. Curiosity mostly always told me it'd be a bad idea, and she was right. So I guess I wanted to prove her wrong. In the end, she was the one who was laughing, though. I gave myself horrible stomach cramps. Yes, well, I am not surprised. Mina looked rather perturbed, as does Legia, who sighs. Goodness me, I am now beginning to wonder whether I might have made a mistake of asking you for your aid. If you do not even know what cheese does not go well with sugar, I shudder to think how things would go if you were to face Milady head on. If we were talking about Scarlet, it would probably be a bloodbath. Damn right, it wouldn't. It would. I thrust my halberd straight through that Demon Queen's heart for good. That shuddered up good and proper. Somehow I doubt that. Me too. If you truly believe you can best mistress with such ease, then you are grossly underestimating her. She has immense powers that I know not. Yeah, I already get the memo. You've been hyping her up non-stop ever since we decided to follow you. It's enough to make me wonder whether you really want us to stop her or not. Well, of course I wanted you to stop her. I would not have been requesting your aid if I did not. I was being sincere. I guess. Scarlet, the resident demon hater, demurs. She might not trust demons, but she's not completely unreasonable. I guess even she could tell me how earnest Leisha was being when she took my hand and entreated me. I doubt that you want to stop your queen. Well, why? What's Fury's planning? Well, about that. Leisha frowns. It is quite the long story, but I do not think that you will trust me if I do go into the finer details. I cannot help but feel as though I am betraying my lady by speaking ill of her, especially to a band of ruffians such as yourselves. Hey, that's adventurous to you. Alright, fine, adventurous then. But never mind, I'm already leading you to Milady's stronghold, so I suppose it is too late to worry about betraying her. I am being a woefully poor subject, so I will tell you all I know of Milady's plans, and perhaps you will see how serious this situation truly is, and you will understand too why I had to turn to you for your aid. I had no choice. As much as I love Milady and I do, I cannot condone what she is doing. You said that all of Anthem might be at risk if her plans come to fruition? Yes, that is right. Leisha's expression darkens, a storm cloud passing over her pretty face. I wish that it were not so, and Milady had not gone down such a dark path. But I have served Milady close for many years. Nobody knows her better than I do, and nobody knows how much she has changed either. She changed, indisputably, and it is definitely for the worse. Milady has some plans, you see, for Luna. What sort of plans? Yeah, what sort of plans? She isn't going to use Luna's Claire, what you call it? Clairvoyance? That's right, that's the Demon's Queen of yours, isn't plotting to use Demon's Luna power to take over Anthem, is she? Well, does she mean to conquer the whole country? Don't tell me will it be the end of the world as we know it. Oh, something like that, I suppose. She supposes? She doesn't sound very unsure. Isn't that a bit of a suspicious? If she felt so strongly about her mistress Wicked plotting that she decided to turn to the stranger for help to out her, she must have an idea of what it is Fury is doing. And there is that dream I had last night. I can't remember most of it, not in any great detail, but I think Luna featured in it pretty heavily. Didn't she tell me that the Demon Queen meant no harm? That doesn't mean really square with what Legia's saying, though. This is all pretty confusing. I have lots of questions, but I don't want to go into the precise details of her plot. That would feel like a step too far. I am already betraying Milady's trust by bringing you to her title. If I were to tell all of you her schemes, I would no longer be able to look her in the eyes again for shame. I do not want to air all of my Milady's secrets, but it suffices it to say what she meant to do with Luna will pose a serious threat to the state of the world. Though I love Milady a lot, even I believe that she needs to be stopped. That is why I decided to turn to you for your aid, though you might be enemies of Milady and of all demon kind. I know we demons are widely mistrusted across Anthem, and I did fear it would be difficult for me to find help. But I had no choice in the matter. Believe me when I say that Milady's plans must foil at all costs. If she is allowed to continue as she is, then all we be lost. This is more serious than I can properly explain. But though I might have left one or two details out, I am being nothing but sincere. Though I have tried time and time again, my caution will no longer reach Milady's ears. She refused to listen to me regardless of how hard I try. So I can only pray that you will listen to me in her stead. That you will put an end to this before things can progress too far. You need to rescue the priest. That is the only way to resolve this dire situation in which I have become entranced. I see. Scarlet frowns up after listening to Leech's explanation, then says, Man, I figured the Demon Queen would be pretty rotten. You can't become a Demon Queen if you're not prepared to subjugate people, but she must be even worse than I thought if her own people are turning on her like this. I concur. Mina nods her head smartly, her ears twitching. I never would have trusted her before, but now I know this, my opinions of her has plummeted further still. I know not what she is planning with Luna, but I cannot allow her to maintain her hold upon her. We cannot let her stay with that wicked woman a moment longer. I hear. Let's do our best, boss. Well, that should go without saying. I was not planning to go easy on her. Anybody who would dare to lay a hand upon Luna deserves nothing but the full extent of my ire. I will make her rule the day that she never ever thought of crossing me. Me too. This Scarlet World of Justice is going to rest easy and let cute girls get hurt. Especially not if the fate of the world rests in the balance. Isn't that right, Aki? Yes, Aki. You have been awfully quiet. Are you alright? Oh. I jumped in and looked between Scarlet and Mina awkwardly. I was so caught up in my own thoughts. I wasn't paying their indignant words much attention. Oh, I'm alright. Thank you for asking. And I'm sorry for spacing out like that. You definitely look spacey. I fear you have not been paying attention to us at all. It's something on your mind. Well, I cast my mind back to the dream I had the night before when I was lying in my tent. Was it really just a dream though? I'm not sure. I just said that Fiori had wicked plans for the rest of Anthem, but that doesn't square with what Luna told me. Didn't she say that Fiori was a good woman? There's no real reason to doubt her, not when she's gone out of her way to enlist our aid, though it might be to her detriment. I can't imagine betraying her own mistress would give Legis any perks. If Fiori were to find out about this, she'd be livid. Legia would lose her job or her life. Legia must be pretty convinced to go to all of this effort to enlist our help, and yet, though I can't fully remember what she said last night, Luna's words continue to weigh on me. Is Fiori a terrible tyrant, or is she? What in the world is going on? I'm lost in the thought. I'm unsure of who to trust when... Hey Aki, are you still with us? Oh yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry. You better be. Sheesh, this is the second time that you drifted off like that. What is wrong with you? I too would like to know that. You ought to know how very important this mission of ours is, Aki. We will be facing off against the Demon Queen. Even if we have Legion's help and the elements of surprise on our side, this will be a tricky fight. If you do not wish to be bested by her, then you will need to keep your wits about you. Do you understand? Yeah. I quail beneath Mina's gaze, which is cold and hard, and then hang my head, my ears, and my tail drooping. Then feeling suitably cowed, I murmur, I understand, and I'm very sorry. I hope I haven't made you worry too much. I am worrying quite a bit, yes, but so long as you promise to remain vigilant, I suppose things will be alright. But I am curious though, you are not hiding something from us, are you? Though drift though my mind once again, Luna's embracing me, her arms around my waist and her mouth against my ear, and I flushed. I guess I'm keeping something from Mina and Scarlet, and it's pretty big something too. I know I should tell them, but I'm still not sure what that really happened or if it was all a dream. I do not want to worry Mina over something as ephemeral as a dream, so I ought to keep quiet for now at least. No, I'm not keeping anything from you. I'm just a bit anxious, I guess, about facing off against the Demon Queen. I can't help but worry, that's all. Mina surveys me for a few moments, her lips pursed. I wonder as these moments pass whether she doesn't believe me until after a pause, she smiles. Well, that makes sense. It is normal to feel agitated, though that is quite funny. Funny? Is it? I was not aware of that. It is yes. After all, were you not the one who was trying to console me last night when I was anxious about our chances? It seems like our roles have quite reversed. Oh, right. So that's what you're talking about. Of course it is. Why would I be speaking of anything else? I don't know. Just disregard me. I guess I'm starting to get antsy about now that we're approaching the Demon Queen's stronghold. Everything's starting to feel more real. But of course, I'm just going to do my best. Good. That's what I like to hear. Well, we'll not be able to make any progress if we let ourselves get freaked out. We need to keep our spirits high. The Demon Queen's title might be located in a freaky part of the forest. It might be all dark and sinister and gloomy around here. But with Legion's help, we'll be able to find her. Everything will be fine. I'm sure of it. I hope Scarlet's right about, but I really am starting to wonder, what exactly is this wicked plan of fury that Legion was talking about? And does Luna really want to be rescued? does she? That kind of begs the question. Alright. We should almost be almost there. We just need to crest this hill and then... Oh my. Wow, it sure is big, huh? How ostentatious. Does any one woman really need to reside in a home that needlessly large? It's like something from the movie. This house, this whole mansion entirely. Ta-da! Lady speaks in a voice that's so deadpan it's almost comedic as she raises one arm directed at us to look at the vast whole structure before us. Not that we really need any invitation to stare, that is. We're staring already. Mina's being a little less obvious about it than myself, and Scarlet, maybe because she's trying to maintain a degree of composure. But Scarlet's eyes are practically bulging out of her head. I can't imagine I look much more composed either. I thought when I heard about the Demon Queen's title, that it'd be an imposing structure, all tall turrets and gargoyles like a medieval castle, and it certainly is that. But by the same token, it is even more. The Demon Queen's abode is so hulky it practically seems to blot out the moonlight. For as one would expect, in any demonic stronghold is perpetually dark around here. The turrets stab into the skylights needless, almost as if they mean to lacquerate the moon. The numerous windows set into these turrets, meanwhile, looks like a dozen of pairs of blankly staring eyes. There's still quite a lot of fog swirling around our ankles, despite Legi's attempts to keep us at bay, which further adds to the gothic ambience of the whole place. I feel like a heroine from a 19th century novel, one who stumbled upon some European abode of ill repute. This looks like exactly the sort of place you'd expect to find a vampire, or a mad scientist, or maybe a monster. The cold is so intense it seems to sink into my skin. I'm shivering from the tip of my toe, and the sight of our destination now so close does little to reassure me. If the Demon Queen lives in a home like this, it seems unthinkable that we'll be able to break into it. It must be surrounded with magical protections, and that before factoring in how thick stone walls must be and how far from civilization it is. Even if we did manage to rescue Luna, we only have trees to run to, and they're so densely packed. I'm afraid we'd be caught in seconds. This doesn't bode well at all. I have all sorts of living misgivings, but Legia says some of them frowns. I know it might look ominous, but you will be quite safe, I assure you. I will guide you into the castle, and I will show you to where the priest is being held. You can trust me. Yes, ma'am. I read you. Good. And you, Mina, do you promise not to spare Luna too many words? Well, Mina frowns. She's the only member of our party who looks caught out by this. I thought that Mina would be the first to reassure Legia that she, of course, means to be as responsible as possible, but the respect of seeing Luna again must have ignited some sort of flame inside Mina, because she looks uncharacteristically antsy. She looks down at her feet, biting her lower lip. Then quietly she says, I cannot promise I will not speak to Luna. I have been parted from her for quite some time and I miss her dreadfully. It is only natural that I would wish to ask after her. But I understand this is a delicate mission and I do not want to come to blows with your mistress, so I will try to be quick. You will have my word as a mage. Good. I'll hold you to that. And remember, if anything does go wrong, I won't take any responsibility for it. From this point onwards, whatever happens is in your hands. Now follow me. I believe Luna should be in the throne room. She often spends her time when Milady is gone, waiting for her return. Why is that? I beg your pardon? Why does Luna wait for the Demon's Queen? You're almost making her sound like a lovelorn wife waiting for her partner to come back from the wars. Oh, I cannot say. I haven't known Luna for long enough. I suppose that is simply how she is. She seems to be worried about everybody. Yes, That does totally with what I know. Luna has always been very conspicuous, even against those that mean her harm, you know. To think that she would feel so strongly about a demon, however, Tamina grits her teeth together. To think that very same demon would take advantage of her sweet nature. I will never forgive her. That's the spirit. Now let us go. Legia turns on her heels and her dress fluttering and beckons us to follow. She pushes open the door, which bids entrance to the Demon Queen's Gothic fortress, and then... Luna! Mina gasps. I've scarcely had any time to take in my newfound surroundings. The high ceiling, the large windows, the plush throne set upon plinth. When Mina dashes forward, her ears and tails twitching. Legia wasn't leading us astray after all. She really is waiting here. The missing priestess that we've all been searching so hard to locate. She was perched upon the throne on the pinch clad in white, her eyelids shut in what appeared to be slumber. Her head snaps up, though as Mina approaches, her soul thudding against the marble floor. Luna, I can hardly believe it. It really is you, Mina. Luna stands her dress with swishing about her thighs, expressing questioning. Oh! As Mina pulls Luna into a tight, possessive embrace, I guess Mina really must have missed her. Not that this is a surprise. I already knew how much Mina valued Luna. Still, the whole sight makes me feel... kind of... I mean, I'm not jealous or anxious, but... man, what could I even pick between this? Let's go with jealous. Strangely jealous. I know that Mina has known Luna longer than she knows me, but all the same. But part of me wishes Mina would embrace me like that with such deep desperation. I miss you, Luna. I miss you so much. So much. Luna smiles in return, her eyes half-lidded, somnolent and sleepy. She rubs Mina's back slowly, her slender fingers splayed, and says, I've missed you too. I was running how you were doing during the last few months while I was being staying with the Demon Queen. Staying with? Mina's brow furrows. What do you mean staying with? You were hardly staying with her. You were kidnapped by her. Oh yes, I suppose it would seem that way. It does not just seem that way. It is that way. That is why I have been trying tirelessly to rescue you alongside Scarlet Naki. But never mind that. Oh, Luna. Mina gives the absent priest another hug. Her arms twin about her tightly. I really have missed you. You have no idea how worried I was. I was thinking about a bit of an idea. With how tightly you're hugging me, you're not being exactly supple. Oh, my apologies. I am not burdening you, am I? Well, you can stand to squeeze me a little less. But I'm quite alright, as you should be able to see. You don't need to fuss about me. Actually, I was rather more worried about you. You were? Luna nods, her expression mischievous, her eyes sparkling. I know how single-minded you can be, Mina. When you have tasks to attend to, you can be awfully determined how often to detriment of your own health. I've seen how you get when you're working on new spells or when you're studying some interesting magical theories. You get utterly absorbed in your studies. You have a bit of a habit of skipping meals, and you sometimes forget to sleep for days on end. I hope you're not being pushing yourself that hard while you've been trying to rescue me. You have been remembering to eat your vegetables, haven't you? Well, oh, and I do hope you've not been drinking too much coffee. I know it's good for waking you up, and it can give you much needed boost of energy. But too much of it is bad for the heart, and I think it is bad for your teeth too. I wouldn't want them getting stained. Oh, does Mina have a caffeine addiction? She used to when she served me in the temple. It was quite shocking. The other mages drink coffee themselves. To some degree, it can be stimulating for magic users. But even when they were appalled by quite how much of the stuff Mina could down, she was drinking at least 4 pots a day. 4? Scarlet gawps. Then she snickers. And you always try and lecture us about eating habits, Mina. You're something else. That does seem quite excessive, yes. I worked in the office, but I don't remember drinking quite that much coffee myself. I'm surprised you haven't had any health scars. Me too. You have such a pretty smile, Mina. It would be a shame if you spoiled it, even if you don't smile all that often. I've often thought you should do that more. You're too cute to waste your good looks being all sullen. Well, and another thing. You have been getting 8 hours of sleep every night, haven't you? If there's one thing I really care about, it's getting an adequate amount of sleep. 8 hours is essential. You might think you can make it do 5 or 6, but that's only fully. You need to rest much more than that. I know that. I'm well aware. You do not need to lecture me like this, Luna. You are not my mother. I am not, no, but I am your friend, and I do care about you a lot. As your friend, I know what you are like very well. I know you are not necessarily the most trustworthy of people. And what do you mean by that, huh? What I said, you might care about other people a good deal. You have sacrificed quite a lot to come and find me, but I don't think you care about yourself nearly enough. You need someone to make you toe the line. You'll push yourself to the brink of exhaustion. As your dearest friend, I do not want that happening. I care about you too much. Luna, please. Mina's face, which has already read, turns even redder. You're going to show me up. You're going to show me up in front of Scarlet and Aki. They'll start to judge me. I don't want them to think I am useless, a failure of a cat who cannot look after me. Oh, Mina, it's too late for that. I'm already judging you. Isn't that right, Aki? I'm definitely judging. Scarlet has a good point. My opinion of you as sensible, hard-working woman has taken a bit of a battering. I had no idea you were quite this helpless. Mina takes a step away from Luna, as if shot. She places a hand against her chest, expressions quivering, and says, "That was pretty harsh." Then her lower lip trembles. "I cannot believe you, Luna. I have come all this way to rescue you, yet you are going to out your way to humiliate me? Humiliate you? I would never. I'm only expressing my concern to you as your friend because I care for you. I worry about you, Mina. Yes, that's very sweet of you, but you do not need to. I am perfectly self-sufficient. Are you sure you're not when you serve me? You got so caught up in your own little world and your own fantasies. I wonder how you would survive in the real world. Somehow that feels kind of hypocritical, coming from a woman who has spent all of her life inside a temple. I might have been a bit of a hopeless case when I served you, I will admit, but I have come on in leaps and bounds then. Rescuing you has made me much more responsible. Did you know that I'm the leader of this party? We would not have come here for it were it for not me. Oh, Luna gasps and claps. That is very impressive. I can tell you've been giving this your all, Mina. So for that, you deserve a pat on the head. Luna approaches Mina, then she reaches up. Then she rests the palm of her hand atop Mina's head, and giving her a dark hair a ruffle, she says, There. You work so hard. You're such a good girl. I'm very proud of you, Mina. Hey. Another blush arises to Mina's face, as red as hawthorn berry as she examines Luna. You're treating me like a little kid again. Am I? Yes. What do you think you're doing? Patting me like that? It's all a bit infantilistic. Oh dear, my apologies. I didn't mean for it to be so. Luna frowns while retracting her hand. I was just trying to congratulate you on a job well done. It is very impressive that you were able to come all of the way out here. I know that breakage of yours must require some cunning. You worked so hard, thought you would appreciate a reward, and you've never used to mind it when I patted your head in the past. In fact, you used to beg for it. Luna! Mina's face, which is already flushed, turns positively peony. Her cheeks look so flushed she could probably fry an egg on them. Scarlet, meanwhile, who is already snickering now, doubles up into peals of laughter. Her arms curl around her stomach. Oh my gosh, this is simply too good. Who would have known that serious nonsense Mina loves having her head patted like a commie kitty? That's so funny. And it really is not that funny. No, it is, believe me, it is. It's hilarious. I don't know if I'll ever be able to look at you the same way again. Maybe I should buy some toys for you to play with, like a mouse or a string. Would you like that, Mina? Of course not. I'm not a cat woman. Thank you very much. Not a cat. Note the woman parts, please. It's very important. I am much too mature to find any pleasure in chasing about a mice or on strings. Yes, that is true. You never really liked that. But you did enjoy when I stroke you behind your ears and when I clip your nails. You were always so cute and clingy then. Scarlet positively explodes into peals of laughter at this reveal, double up tears beating in her eyes. Oh my gosh, that is simply too good. I really am seeing in you a new light, Mina. I had no idea you could be so funny. Oh, whatever. Mina turns her back on us, her arms folded. You are all being ridiculous, and we are getting sidetracked too. We came here, Luna, so that we could rescue you from the Demon Queen. You see, Mina begins, but she's unable to finish her statement. Luna chooses this moment to yawn, pressing one hand against her mouth. Mina, I can see tears begin to beat in her eyes of exhaustion. Maybe. I wonder if she's tired because she used too much mana to speak to me. In my dreams last night, I'm not really sure how it works, but I can't feel, but feel a little responsible for her weary state. Not that I asked Luna to communicate with me, of course. She decided that of her own volition. My apologies, Mina, but our reunion has left me feeling a touch sleepy. I do so enjoy talking to you and teasing you. So you admit you were doing it on purpose, huh? But my energy is limited. Now I fear I've expended a little too much of it. I think I needed to nod off. Luna yawns again, then she falls forward, her body's crumpling. Luna! Mina, who is close to Luna, dashes forward and catches her before her body can hit the floor. Mina's arms wrap around her to better support her as she pulls Luna's head against her chest. Gently, she runs her fingers through Luna's hair and says, "Are you alright?" Yes, I'm much better now. To hold you. You're very soft. Glad to hear it, but you are so very fatigued. Did the Demon Queen do something to you? Did she hurt you? She didn't hurt me. No, she would never. She's much too sweet. Sweet? Mina brows furrows. What are you talking about? Yeah, what do you mean, Mina? I thought the Demon Queen was meant to be this big bad who torched down villages just for fun. I wouldn't call that sweet myself. Those are just stories. Fiori only hopes people would harm her first. A lot of lies, slander have been spoken about her, and actually she is rather kind. Luna sighs again, her eyelids falling shut, but it would take a lot to get into. For now, you feel nice and warm, Mina. I feel like I could nod off right here. Luna nuzzles her head even more timidly against Mina's chest, her long fair lashes falling shut. Don't tell me, did she really just conk out on her feet? It sure looks like it. She's snoring. Luna! Mina looks pretty flushed about all of this because she's staring wide-eyed and at the crown of Luna's fluffy head. Hey, Luna, wake up. You cannot fall asleep. Here, we are still in the middle of the Demon Queen's stronghold. If she catches us, you will not be able to escape. Indeed. Legion, who has been rather quiet now, speaks up. Her hands clasp together, primarily at her front. Your reunion has been rather touching, but you cannot stand about here indefinitely. I believe I warned you to keep things short and to avoid any unnecessary chatter. If Milady were to catch you, it would certainly spell disaster. You need to wake up, Luna. Now is not the time for resting. Your companions have come to save you. Do you not wish to go with them? Do not lecture their sacrifices be in vain. Huh? Luna cracks her eyelids open sleepily, then she steps back from Mina. She rubs her eyes with the back of her arms, perhaps to wake herself up. Then, her eyes narrow, she examines Legion and says, But Legion, you should know that I don't want to leave here. I've told you enough times. Haven't you seen how happy Fiori and I are together? I can't abandon her. What are you talking about? Mina frowns. You would not be abandoning her. She kidnapped you. Do not forget, you are the victim here. Huh? Now that's funny. How could I be a victim, Mina, if I don't feel like I'm one? Well, I've been having quite a good time with Fiori as it happens. She's been very kind to me, like I said, and I guess she's very good at dancing too. Dancing? Yes, that's right. She was showing me how to waltz. I wasn't very good at first, because I kept tripping over my own feet. I'm not the most coordinated of people. I might have a lot of magical abilities, but that doesn't improve a person's dancing abilities, I'm afraid. I was awfully at it. But Fiore didn't give up on me. She kept on coaching me. And she was so very gentle throughout it all. She told me that she could see promise in me, that she knew I had potential. She was so incredibly kind, it was almost enough to bring tears of gratitude to my eyes. I can't turn back on her, not when she's been so good to me. You say that, but Fiore is a demon, right? Indeed she is, but why does it matter? Her being a demon does not mean that she is a bad person, far from it. I think Fiore is wonderful. Luna, please, snap out of it. I know that you're a kind person, that you always try and see the best in everybody, but is this the demon queen we're talking about? She's a monster. She kidnapped you for her own nefarious purpose, and Legia says she's means to use you to destroy the whole world. You need to wake up. You must open your eyes. Well, Luna laughs vaguely while pressing her index finger together. That might be somewhat tricky given I fall asleep so very often. Cause you're a whole sheep. It makes sense for her having this crescent up here. You know I'm not very good at staying awake, Mina. Not for long stretches of time. But I'm fully alerted and self-aware when I say that I don't want to leave. I would much rather stay here with Fiore, who's been so kind, very kind to me. Why would I turn my back on her when I care about her so much? No. You. This. It cannot be. The Demon Queen must have addled you. That's right. I bet she cast some sort of weird spell on you. I wouldn't put it past her. She seems like exactly the sort of brigand who do such a thing. No, she didn't. I don't want to hear it. I can't bear hearing a cute, sweet, innocent thing like you trying to make excuses for a monster like that. When I see her, I need to let her have it. I'll make that awful, overgrown bat rule the day that she ever dared to mess with a sweet, lovely girl like you. You will do no such thing. You cannot fight against Milady. I have warned you about that already. If you try, you will most certainly fail. You are not strong enough. Ha! Spoke like a true stooge. I'm sure you think that, Legia causes Fiore, your boss, and all, but you've not seen me in action yet. The Scarlet Road of Justice is nothing to be scoffed at. One blow from my halberd should be enough to send her flying. It will send you flying, you foolish girl. Milady's magic can counter all melee blows, even in Smash Bros. Melee. As you are, there is simply no way for you to harm her. You are much too weak. You need to take the priest and go quickly before Milady realizes what you are planning. That is the only way you'll be able to rescue her. But I don't need to be rescued. I like it here, and I'm not saying that because I've been enchanted or addled or whatever you think I think. I'm being earnest. What? Isn't that right, Aki? Huh? Scar looks at me questioningly, her head cocked. Do you know something about this, Aki? I too would be interested to hear about this. Why is the priest addressing you? That is right. What is going on? Well, I quail beneath the combined gaze of Luna, Mina, Scarlet, and Legia. They're all observing me expectantly, all waiting for my reply. The full brunt of their stares is crushing me. What should I say? I open my mouth, feeling awfully unsure of myself when I too am rather interested in what it is Luna means. What in the world is going on? And why are there strangers in my throne room? Oh shit. I squeal in alarm. Now I'm not the only one. Legia's face turns an interesting puce color while Scarlet and Mina both start. They glance about trembling and then, could that be the Demon Queen? Demon Queen or the woman I presume to be demon at least looks between us. Her arch expressions one of the supreme disdain. If this woman is Demon Queen and I'm not sure who else she would be, bash on her haughty, impetuous tone, she doesn't quite look like how I picture her. I thought that Demon Queen would look taller for one thing, and that she would be more imposing. But this woman who thinks is the Demon Queen doesn't quite measure up to my expectations. She's quite slender actually, she's good looking too. Her skin is smooth and devoid of blemish. Her eyes bright like gems. Her hair's red and fury, and she wears it tied back into her 2 buns. Her outfit, meanwhile, is pretty stylish. Sure, it's mostly compromised of shades of black, but it suits her. She isn't wearing heavy-duty armor, neither is she wearing a black tattered cloak. She is almost looking like a fashion model from her proportions of her face. If it wasn't for the horns that protrude from her head, just like leeches, she fit in well in my world as a celebrity. I can easily see people squinting all over her. Ah, Fury, you look as beautiful as always today. Every time I see you, you never fail to take my breath away. You really are wonderful. Which explains Luna's reaction to her so-called captor. Fury might have kidnapped her, but Luna doesn't seem all upset. Something I can't now. I've clapped eyes on Fury, really blame her for. I don't think I mind being kidnapped by a woman like Fury either. She really is gorgeous. Why, thank you. The red-headed woman, who by now I'm sure is Fury. Who else would she be? Nod smiling faintly as she digests this compliment. Her smiles last only a brief moment, however, before she turns her narrow gaze back to myself, Mina and Scarlet. Really though, what is this dreadful ruckus about? I leave my citadel for a few hours to attend some business, and when I return, everything is in shambles. Why are there rats scuttling around in my throne, uninvited? And why are you accompanying them, Legion? Do not tell me. Fury's well-shaped nostrils. Yes, I did call her nostrils well-shaped, so sue me, flirt with obvious displeasure. You did not invite these rats into my home, did you? Legion's face turned deadly pale when her mistress entered her throne room, but now it explodes into the color at this inquiry. She looks down at her feet, beet red, so flushed, even the tips of her ears are burning. If she's trying to look unaffected, she's not doing a very good job at it. She couldn't make her guilt more obvious if she tried. Hey, I think the only way she could make her involvement in this more obvious is if she wants holding up a sign which reads in bold, I am the one who let these rats into your home. Speaking of which, rats? Scarlet glowers. What do you mean, rats? We're not. I beg your pardon? Mina cuts off Scarlet, her voice trembling with rage. I know that Mina was a short temper. I know from experience. In fact, since myself and Scarlet have been on the receiving end of it a few times, but I don't think I've ever seen her explode quite like this. She stalks forward, her tail twitching until she toes to toe with the Demon Queen. Then Scarlet at Fury, she says, look down on all of us like, but we are not rats. Oh, Fury looks down at Mina, and her expression unimpressed. She pressed her lips together, seemingly not in the least bit cowed by Mina's Fury temper, and says in a cool voice, I was just saying it how I saw it, but if you are not rats, then what are you? Well, I am very glad that you asked. This is Aki. Mina gestured to me, her chest weaving from rage. She is a kind, brave, noble girl who enlisted in my search to find Luna. Though she never met Luna before this. She has no personal stake in this matter, but she agreed to put her very life on the line, to risk herself and her own welfare, for the sake of doing the right thing. That makes her very just indeed, and a force to be reckoned with. This, meanwhile, Scarlet. This time, Mina gestured to an orange-haired foxhole on our party, the self-proclaimed Scarlet Road of Justice. Like Aki, she has never met Luna, but she was determined to join us when she learned that so fair a maiden had been kidnapped. She's a bit harsh, brash, and she sometimes speaks before considering the impact of her words. She can be clumsy, and she annoys me a lot. Hey, why are you being so down on me, huh? That's really not very fair. After you said so many nice things about Aki, I'm sensing from distinct favoritism here. But she is a hard worker despite that, and nobody cares more about protecting innocent lives than Scarlet does. She is a wonderful adventurer whose spirit are never dampened, and I consider myself honored to know her. Oh, see, Scarlet, Mina's being pretty nice to you. I guess she is. Maybe I spoke too soon. I feel like I'm going to blush. And as for myself, Mina hails, then she tries to draw herself up to her full height, which isn't very high. She's quite a good deal shorter than Fury, but she stares her down regardless, her narrowed with unmistakably fury. I am Mina. I graduated at the top of my class from the Royal University of Thaumaturgy. For many years, I was assigned the head bodyguard of the High Priestess Luna, the woman that you have cruelly kidnapped. I am not just Luna's bodyguard. However, I am her close friend. I am concerned about her, which is an emotion I doubt a demon such as yourself has never caused to feel. I care about Luna, and I have come here to retrieve her, and it is my job to protect her from the likes of you. Uh-oh. Mina takes a step back. She holds out her right hand, magically as energy beginning to form upon her fingertips. Then in a voice which wavers with emotion, she cries, "And that's just what I intend to do." "Here, here, show her the boss, Mina, don't let her overgrow the bat, scare you." Scarlet pulls out her halberd as she speaks, then points it at Fiore. Her eyes glitter madly. "If we all work together, I'm sure we could give her a good, proper ass kicking." Fiore's eyes scarlet with that unamused, narrow eye gaze of hers. One hand rested upon her hip. "And how do you propose to stop me exactly?" "With my halberd, of course, and my ever-handy fighting spirit. I'll grind you down into the dirt in no time." "How cute." Fiore scoffs and shakes her head. "You can try to best me if you so desire, but it'll be useless. You will not be able to leave such as much scratch upon me." "Ha! That's what you think. You've clearly never faced off against the Scarlet Lord of Justice before." "Evidently I have not. This is the first time I have ever met you." "But what is this about being a Scarlet Lord of Justice?" "Well, it's that a title that you earned from years of hard work and toil. You do not very look old enough to have such a lofty moniker." "Well, about that." Scarlet pauses for once. I uncharacteristically look of bashfulness captured her face. "That might have been a name that I gave myself. Yes, I did suspect as much, but I think it's well deserved." Well, you would think that if that is a title you bequeath upon to yourself. "No, it is. I'm very strong, and I am not alone either. I'm with Mina and Aki. Together, we three of us will destroy you. Isn't that right?" "I'm unsure whether I will go quite that far, but I will endeavor to do my best. I'm not going to let you steal Luna away from me." I'm not so sure about this. Can't we all be friends?" "Friends with a demon?" Scarlet scoffs her expression. "Incredulous? You must be out of your mind, Aki." I concur. "You are not talking sense. I understand that we have had an arduous journey, but I fear it must have addled your mind. If you are prepared to take the side of the Demon Queen, then you are not a worthy ally of ours." "What she said." "Come on, Aki. We need to be united. We should face off against her together." "No, wait. Please. You mustn't. I don't want any violence. I care about you a good deal, Mina, but I also care about Fiore. I don't want to see either of you getting hurt." "My apologies, Luna." Oh dear. Fiore narrows her eyes, countenance stony, as magical energy begins to gather upon her palms. "But I believe negotiations have broken down. It is apparent that these girls do not want peace. They only want instead to fight. Hell yeah, bring it on. Believe me, I shall. I see no need to unleash the full force of my magic upon the likes of you. But you are leaving me with no choice. If you brazen enough to threaten me in my own home, then I shall respond in turn. I am not going to let anybody take Luna away from me, even if Luna happens to be familiar with you. I don't want to upset Luna. Fiore's well-deserved nostrils. Yep, I'm still calling it that. I don't think it's unfair either. She really does have nice nostrils. Flare again. But no, based on what she's told me, that being parted from me would be devastating to her. You lie. Hardly. What would I gain from doing that? The fact that the matter is, Luna does not want to leave my side. She's consented quietly only when I describe her upon her temple and me to kidnap her. In fact, she positively begged me to rescue her. She was shut up in the temple for that much too long. The unchanging mundane nature of her existence was destroying her. She was languishing just like an exotic flower plucked from its local clime and planted in the middle of an icy storm. She was suffering. Fiore snarls. Yet you never cared for all you claim to be your friend. You ignored her wishes. You were complicit in keeping her a prisoner. I will not let you return her to her old life of drudgery. I am angry that you've thought of crossing me, yes. But more than that, I am incensed on behalf of my partner, whom I love more than anything. I'm not going to let you rip my beloved Luna away from her newfound happiness. Beloved? Mina echoes Fiori words, her expression disbelieving. She grits her teeth together, and in an obvious rage she cries. Why have all the nerve? Kidnapping Luna is one thing, but pretending that you love her and that she loves you is a step too far. You are delusional. If you think that Luna would ever love you, then you are grossly mistaken. If you think that Luna does not love me, then you clearly haven't been listening to her. Did she herself not say that she was also happy with me? Yes, indeed. I know this must be hard to believe, Mina, but no, I do not believe it. I would not believe it. You cannot love her, Luna. You just cannot. And why can I not? Because she is an evil demon who wants to destroy the world. The world? Luna looks at Scarlet, her expression is baffled. I never heard of anything about that. Are you sure you aren't mistaken? You are the one who's mistaken, Luna. Perhaps you have come to love Fiori. No? Why that might be, I cannot say. But that is only because you do not know what she is really like. She is a monster. She is not. You say that you know Fiori, Mina, but you have spent far less time with her than I have. You do not know the real her. You don't know. Silence, wench. Mina holds down her right hand so aloft, magical energy beginning to gather about her outstretched fingers. There's quite a lot of magical energy, so much it's so enough to make a fine hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The air around me ripples. My hair begins to flutter, caught in the dense man of fog that startled to surround Mina. She really is taking this seriously. I don't think I've ever seen anyone more determined. I am not going to stand here and listen to you defend that monster, Luna. Not for a moment any longer. And let us see who truly superior mage is. With pleasure. Mina snarls her own mana glowing mass, and in the density as she channels it, though it's no competition, not really. The end result is already obvious. I know full well who will emerge the victor, and it will not be you, silly cat. Oh, for the love of... Mina pulls her face, then incensed she yells, I am a cat woman, not a cat girl. I am a grown adult, thank you very much, and I will soon put an end to your smug confidence. Me too. Ha! I would like to see the both of you try. Wait! It looks like Fiori is going to fire a blast of dense, powerful magic energy to Mina's direction, but before she can, Luna dashes forward. She approaches Fiori, her arms outstretched. Then her slender arms twine tightly about Fiori's middle, as they did with me last night when I was dreaming. Luna pressed her ample chest against the curve of Fiori's spine. Her eyes squeeze shut and cries, Please, Fiori, I beg of you. You can't hurt Mina no matter what she's said or done. She is my dear friend, and I care about her too much. She is only acting like this because she is worried about me. Her actions are born to live from love, not malice. So please show her some mercy. What? But Luna! Fiori glances at Luna from behind her shoulders, her expression quizzical, her eyes wide. I can't show her mercy. I am the demon queen and she is questioning my abilities. If I were to draw back here and to show her forgiveness, she would think me weak. Everybody would think me weak. Her reputation would be torn to shreds. I think your reputation has already been torn to shreds, lady, after you've been dawning on Luna so much. What? Fiori glows at Legia, who muttered that mutinous remark under her breath. What do you mean, Legia? Oh, nothing, lady. That is what I thought. Fiori Harams then looks back at Luna. You are not seriously suggesting, are you, that I spare these wenches who have disrespected me so? I'm not just suggesting it, Fiori. I am demanding it. If you care about me as much as you claim to, then you would never lay a finger upon Mina. I might love you now, but I would not be able to keep doing so if you were to hurt her. Luna, This is at least seems enough to finally get through to Fiori. The magical energy which was gathering in her palm dissipates like a guttering flame. She blinks, then her expression bemused. She says, "Do you really care for that Maggie cat as much as all of that?" "Yeah, I do, yes. And Mina isn't Maggie. She might not have a maid to tend to her as you do, but she's quite well groomed despite that." Mina puts an adequate amount of attention into her appearance. When she remembered to get sleep and to eat 3 square meals a day, that is, I'm still not entirely convinced that she's been looking herself properly. But I suppose that's what Scarlet and Aki are for. They've been taking good care of her. Luna smiles, her arms still entwined, and Fiori's waist. "So you shouldn't need me anymore, Mina. It should be fine if I stay here with Fiori. Would you let me do that?" "I don't." Mina stares at Luna, her eyes wide, her shoulders trembling. Her expression is one of blank disbelief, so much so I can't help but feel sorry for her. It's painfully apparent that Mina thought by rescuing Luna, she was doing right by her. I know that she wants to help, but Luna doesn't want to help that Mina's trying to offer her. Mina's being rebuffed. For all she cares about Luna, and the pain on her face couldn't be more palpable. Mina continues to hold her hand aloft, magic still swirling about her fingers. I wonder if she means to put her arms down. There's no reason after all for her to continue to fight. But I can't. I mean, Luna, yes, Mina. Mina grits her teeth together. Then she's still shaking, she cries. "I cannot accept this. I haven't ventured so very far for your sake and sacrificed so much for you to reject me. I won't stand for it." Magical energy continues to swirl about Mina's hands, around her outstretched fingers. Mina's mana continues to build and build until my whole body tingles from it. Her spell is lessening in its intensity. Instead, it is quite the opposite. It is only continuing to get stronger and even more potent. Can Mina no longer control herself? Luna certainly seems to think so. And so does Fiori. Because they both gasp. "Oh no, Mina's power is ramping up too much. If this continues, she won't be able to stop it." "Yes, that is what I feared." Fiori clicks her tongue. This is the danger with experienced mages. She is powerful, but she hasn't lived nearly long enough to harness her power. Everybody knows that mages' abilities are linked to their emotions. Your refusal to go with her must have given her such a nasty shock. She's losing control. Well, I cannot see that, but what are we to do? If this keeps up, Mina will unleash so much magic she will hurt herself. Forget her, she will hurt us too. I am unsure if she can guard against an attack like that. Huh? Is Mina really that strong? Well, she was able to summon me from another world. I think she is quite powerful. What? Fiori looks at me sharply, her eyes wide. You are from another world? That's right, I come from Tokyo, which is in Japan, my voice trails off as I watch Mina taking a sheer amount of magical energy which continues to crackle around her just like lightning. I guess that doesn't really matter right now. We need to try to stop Mina. We do indeed, but goodness, she really is powerful. I thought her nothing but a jump up and self-reported little girl who was playing pretend, but she is rather impressive. Not even I have been able to summon people from other worlds. Not that I ever really cared to. If this situation were not so dire, I would applaud her. But there's no time for that. I need to stop her. And so how are you going to do that exactly? You won't hurt her, will you? I do not want to, not knowing she is so dear to Luna. But I have no choice. If she cannot control her own magic, then I have no choice but to cut her down. No! Luna cries out of grief in a voice louder than I've ever heard from her. Her eyes wild and her body shaking with obvious dread. I won't let you do that, Fiori. I love Mina too much to let you harm her. But if we stop her, then she will harm us. I know that, but... Luna steps forward, her face full of determination, one of her hands raised. I know how Mina's magic works. I spent time enough with her to be familiar with it. I should be able to neutralize the worst of it. If anybody could calm Mina down, it would be me. But what? But Luna! Fiori stares at Luna's back, panic evident. in her face and her voice. If I had any cause to doubt Fury and Luna's relationships before, not that I did, I thought their feelings for one another were pretty apparent, then all such doubts would have been swept away by now. I can tell just by a cursory glance by how much Luna means to Fury. She must adore her, otherwise she wouldn't look so aghast. If the full brunt of that spell hits you, it will hurt you. You might be talented mage, but not even you will be able to shrug that off. You will be injured, perhaps grievously so. I can't stand back and let that happen. I care about you too much. I'm very sorry, Fury. Luna glances over her shoulder at her lover, a small somber smile on her face. But if it's a choice between myself or Mina, then I'll choose Mina. She has always been very good to me. She took very care of me when I was languishing in the temple. Whenever I felt sad, she cheered me up. She is my dearest friend, just as you are my love partner, and I won't let you hurt her. But she was your jailer. She kept you a prisoner. No, she didn't. Mina was just following her orders. She knew not how unhappy I was with my lot in life. No, because I never told her. I did not tell anybody. I didn't want to be a burden. But if Mina had known, I am sure she wouldn't have helped me. That is just the sort of my person she is. Her issue is not that she doesn't care about people, it's that she cares too much. That's why her magic is going out of control at the moment, but I think I can withstand it. I might be the only person who can. Luna. Mina chokes out Luna's name, her body still quivering under the brunt of her own immense magical powers. Move, please, I don't want to hurt you. Sorry, but I won't. I'm going to protect the people that I care about, even if I have to use my own body to do so, which means I'm going to protect both you and Fury. Luna, no, I can't hold back any longer. I don't want to hurt you, but it's alright, Mina. Let it all out. I have a bad habit of keeping your feelings to yourself. So Luna has noticed that about Mina. Has she? I guess it's not so surprising. Luna has known Mina for a lot longer than I have, and I figure out Mina was emotionally constipated only a few minutes after our paths crossed. So now you know to let yourself be honest. I understand that you must be feeling a lot of grief and a lot of pain, and a lot of confusion too. You're suffering, and it's all my fault. I'm the one who upset you, not Fury. So it's alright if you want to pour all of your feelings onto me. I will accept them all. I mean, Luna smiles gently, her face shining. What are friends for? Luna, I don't. Mina cries out, her magic energy surrounding her in a thick, dense cloud. One so heavy the throne room seems to shake. Then she unleashes it. Mina's magical energy explodes from her slender body, coursing through the air, powerful enough to disintegrate everything it touches. The floor of the throne room is burnt black in the wake of Mina's destructive magic. The distinct smell of burning hangs in the air, one which makes me think of Korean barbecue. But Luna does not falter. She continues to stand there, short and slight though she is, her right hand extended to better suppress the intense waves of Mina's magical power. She absorbs it the best she can, but I'm not sure if she can withstand it. I don't know how much longer about magic, but I can even tell Mina unleashed an absolute devastating blow. Mina's magic eventually expands herself, sizzling onto its non-existence. But Luna is looking decidedly worse for wear. Her body tottered as if she's struggling to support herself. She inhales deeply, her chest rising and falling beneath her gown. With bell eyes, she looks at Mina. Then in a quiet voice, she says, I hope that was enough to satisfy you, Mina. I know I've done a lot of things to upset you, but I hope you're able to vent your feelings. I understand how hurt you must be about all of this, and I must apologize for ignoring your efforts to help me. And I hope you do not think too poorly of me because of this. And I want you to know, no matter who I pledge my heart to, you will always be my most dearest friend. Luna continues to teeter uneasy on her feet, her eyelids flutter. Then, Luna crap, this isn't good. No. She falls forward. Her body slumps like a marionette with cutting strings devoid of energy required to keep herself righted. She looks utterly exhausted. I feel anxious for myself, and I'm nowhere near as close to Luna as Mina is. I can hardly imagine how fearful she must be, but then again, I don't need to. I can tell abashed on the stricken look on Mina's face exactly how she must be feeling. Oh gosh, Luna, please! Mina dashes forward, perhaps meaning to catch Luna in her arms before she can collapse, but... Luna, Fiori is faster than she is. Fiori appears at Luna's side in an instant, as if by magic, then dropping down to her knees, she takes Luna into her lap and says, her eyes anxious. Are you alright? Oh yes! Luna looks up at Fiori, seemingly only a little dazed and disoriented at the large, close-range blast of magic that she took. Mina's magic is indeed very powerful, but I know her well enough that I know how to guard against it. She was kind enough to give me ample time to wear a shield, which helped mitigate the worst of its effects. Though I do feel somewhat weary. I'm not surprised. I don't like to praise a Kakuro mages, but that was an awfully dense concentration of mana she shot at you. If you weren't so familiar with the make of her magic, I'm afraid that could have been fatal. It could have been. Luna smiles, then gives Fiori a hand squeeze. It almost looks like she's trying to console Fiori, even though she's the only one lying on the ground, felled by Mina's insanely powerful magic. But as you can see, it was not. I'm still in one piece and I'm still breathing. Barely. You're trying to put on a tough front, but I could tell you had to use a lot of your own power mana to fend off that attack. It's a wonder you can still open your eyes, and I'm afraid you're too weak to stand. That spell really has harmed you. Oh? Luna smiles softly. You can tell. Of course I can tell. I know you're trying to downplay the severity of that attack to stop me from worrying, but you aren't as clever as you might think you are. But as a Demon Queen, I know a thing or two about magic. I know that not even I would be able to take on an attack like that on Scath. That you can still talk to me is a miracle. Well, I've been told that many times before. People were always telling me in the temple that my powers were miraculous. I can make the impossible possible, you know. So you shouldn't be too surprised. It's all in a day works for me. You are trying too hard. Please spare your strength. I'm glad you are all right, but you are not unharmed. Let me try and soothe your wounds. Oh? Luna blinks as I do, as Fiori presses her palms against her shield. A gentle light, quite unlike the energy which Mina unleashed earlier, begins to explode from Fiori's hand. Soft and understandable. I don't know very much about magic, but this doesn't seem like a spell cast with the intent to cause pain. It looks instead like healing magic. Mina frowns. I did not think that demons were capable of such spells, let alone the Demon Queen. Well, you thought wrong. We demons are not the senseless brutes that you think we are. We are to mourn when our friends and fellow demons are injured. Of course we would want to teach ourselves healing magic. We have our own branch of legions, particularly skilled in the art. That's right, legions good at healing cuts and bruises. But you've always been a little bit clumsy when it comes to healing magic, haven't you, my dear Fiori? Well, the Demon Queen glances to one side and blushes while Scarlet snickers. So there's magic not even the great Demon Queen can pull off, huh? I guess you're not all powerful after all. I'm plenty powerful, you mangy fox. I'm more than powerful enough to make your short work of you. I could turn you into a fox girl fritters if I wanted. But my attention is to focus on Luna at the moment. You'll have to wait. Please, Fiori, I don't want you to turn Charlotte or anybody else for the matter into fritters. I don't want any more violence. Now that your clash with Mina has ended, you can see to it to make amends with one another. You say that, but how can I? She hurt you. She didn't mean to, though. It was an accident. An accident brought about by her carelessness. You can say that, I suppose, but I know Mina's better than you do, Fiori, and I that she would never truly want to harm me. She has been my dutiful bodyguard for many years, and more than that, she is also my friend. I would trust her with my life, which is why I was willing to come between the pair of you No matter how strong the mana she was concentrating was, I knew that she would never want to make any serious attempts on my life, and I was right. You tempered your mana just before it was unleashed. Is that not right? I tried my best. Mina glances away, her face flushed. I don't think that my best was good enough, though. I still hurt you. You hurt me less than you would have done, though I'm still alive, so there's no harm done, really. I'm glad we're able to settle things like this. And I'm glad to see how powerful you've become, Mina. You were always an exemplary mage, but your skills have continued to grow even stronger during the last few months. I was very unfortunate. Having a mage such as you to defend me, you were the best bodyguard I could have hoped for. But I'm stubborn. Ward that I'd never be to be guarded. Huh? Mina blinks, her expression of one confusion so blindly that it would be almost funny if this situation wasn't so serious. What are you talking about, Luna? I had to guard you. You still are the high priest. You were the most important person in the temple of Renata. Everybody was worried what would happen if you fell into the wrong hands. What with how potent your powers are. You had to be protected. It was for your own good and for the good of Anthem too. Yes, I am aware of that. I was told that all of my life ever since I was a young girl. I was born in temple from one of the occults, and the other devotes to the goddess told me the same thing. They said I had to stay here for the rest of my life, shut up inside because of my powers. They told me it was too dangerous for me to venture outside, that Brigance and Near's duels would mean me harm. But that only made me even more interested in the world outside. Up until Fury kidnapped me, I'd never been outside the temple's walls. The temples was all I knew for more than 20 years. It was all very stifling. I was never able to feel the wind against my cheek or on my hair, and I was never saw the daylight except through the windows. When I wanted to count the stars, I could only do so through a pane of glass. That was no way to live. Surely you can see how claustrophobic that was. Well, Mina takes a step back. Her expression is uncertain. I can understand why that might have upset you. But the other priests were right. Your powers are very potent. It would have been a huge disaster if anybody had sought to exploit you. Keeping you inside was the best option. Luna curls her lips, and for a few moments, something which looks like genuine distaste crosses her pretty face. I haven't known Luna for all that long, but I get the feeling it's unusual for her to make expressions like this. Mina has known Luna for much longer than I have, and she seems to agree because her brows furrow. Do you not think that was the best option? For the priests, yes. I know they like knowing where I was at all hours, knowing I hadn't fallen into the wrong hands. But for me, Luna frowns and shakes her head. No, I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it when I was a child, but it was even less when I grew older. I'd always wondered why I was never allowed to go outside and play like the children in the stories I used to read did. I always wondered why my life was so constrained, so regimented, so unusual. In the beginning, I tried to not think too much of it. I told myself that I was just the way things were, and I thought my lot in life was unchangeable, like the color of the sky or the grass. The priests were all very kind to me at least. They took care of me as if I were their own child. It was like I had one big family. I was happy inside the temple, but it didn't last. I grew older, and some of the priests who looked after me when I was young left. I began to wonder why. I wondered why they couldn't leave when I couldn't. Then I started to envy them. Things got even more complicated when my duties as the head priest began. I was only 10 years old when I was asked to conduct ceremonies for believers in the goddess Renata and to define people's futures. I had to see the votes in every day of the week, to dispense them with blessings, and to give prophecies. I had scarcely any time to myself. I was still a child, but I'd never had a real childhood. Since then, I spent all my days shut up inside the dim, dusty temple which smelled of incense. And all of a sudden, I didn't even have time to hide away in my room and read my books anymore. I had to help people all the time, and while I don't mind helping people, it took its toll. I felt like a lot of responsibility. If the prophecies I gave people were positive, they would praise my name and would then they would have kissed my hand and they would have thrown coins at my feet. If they were negative, they cursed my name and told me I was an unlucky omen, that my abilities were unnatural. I wanted to tell them that it wasn't my fault. I was deciding their fates. I was just observing them, but it made no difference. I was told my abilities would bring people happiness, but I think they just sowed the seeds of discord even further. I was isolated from absolutely everybody and treated differently because of my powers, either as a saint or as some sort of a devil. Nobody regarded me as what I really was. Though an ordinary girl, I didn't have proper friends a girl my age should have. It was all incredibly lonely. Luna. Mina looks at Luna, her brows furrowed. She claps her hands at the front of her expression importance as she says, I had no idea you felt that way. Every time I asked you how you were, you always responded with a smile. You said that you were happy. Yes, well, I didn't want to make anybody worry about me, least of all of you. You always taken good care of me, Mina, so I would have felt guilty. I didn't want anybody to fuss about me, but I was your friend, Luna. At least, I thought I was. I would not have minded worrying about you. I cared about you, I still do. This is why I expended so much effort to coming here. Yes, I know. You've worked very hard, but I'm afraid I can't appreciate it after all. Luna glances up at Fiori, who's still holding her closed eye. Her eyes have lit and a soft flush daubing her cheeks. I didn't mind when Fiori kidnapped me. In fact, I welcome it. She took me away from the monotonous misery of my old life. She helped me escape. I was so happy so that I was finally free, and I could for the first time in my life feel the sunlight on my face and the wind through my hair. That mattered more to me than anything else. Then does that mean all the time I spent trying to find you, the magic I turned into in order to summon Aki here, all the effort I poured into this single moment right here, it was all for nothing? No, I wouldn't say that. Luna speaks after a brief pause. She rises to her feet with some aid from Fiori, then examines Mina. One hand rests upon her chest. I'm very glad to see you again, Mina. I did miss you a lot. You have always been dear to me, no matter how I might have felt when I was living at the temple. You really were my best friend. That was never a lie. But you do not want to come back with me. There was a brief silence. Luna surveys Mina somberly, her lips pursed. The quiet is so all-consuming that you can hear a pin drop. Luna swallows. Then she shakes her head. No, I'm sorry. I see. Mina inhales, her fingers curling at her sides, then her eyes narrow. She looks at Fiori. That is difficult to hear, but if it's what you truly wish, I'll not try to force you. I would be a poor friend if I took away your autonomy like that, especially when you have been told what to do by other people your whole life. But tell me. Mina looks at Fiori, her expression challenging, her resolves unwavering despite staring down the demon queen. Why did you kidnap Luna? She might regard your actions as a blessing, but I cannot believe that you spirited her away from her own sake. Why did you not know how Luna had been feeling before you kidnapped her? You had never ever spoken to her. I refuse to believe your motives are altruistic. What did you want from her? Fury harms her arms crossed. She frowns. Her eyes narrowed and says, I have no need to tell you that. You are just a cat girl after all. That is Catwoman to you. Girl or woman, it makes little difference to me. You are still a child when compared to myself. I have lived much, much longer than a little mage like yourself could ever countenance. I have no real desire to answer your question, especially when you hurt Luna. But as Luna seems to forgive you, I suppose I can also extend to the olive branch. My feelings towards you are not fond, but I am mature enough that I can engage in a dialogue with you. Fiori inhales and coolly she says, you would be quite right in saying that my motives when I kidnapped Luna were selfish. I did not do it for her sake. I could not, for I had no idea of her suffering. Initially, I did want Luna by my side so I could make use of her power precognition. I was hoping to exploit her so that I might be able to conquer yet more of Anthem. My motives were banked on nothing but the desire of conquer. So you're up to no good after all. You demons really can't be trusted. But that was only the beginning, only in the beginning. My motives were wholly selfish in the beginning, But after spending some time with Luna, Fiori shifts looks down at her feet, and is that just my imagination, or is that a blush spreading across her cheeks? What can I even say for something like this? That's kind of cute, actually. I realized that she was more than just a tool to be used for my own ends. Well, obviously Luna is her own person, and with her own thoughts and feelings, that should have been apparent from the start. I agree, you don't deserve a medal. You know, for realizing that Luna's not a tool, it should go without saying. Perhaps it does for you, but it's not so for me. As a demon, I have always regarded the other races and them as potential threats. Demons have been persecuted for centuries, and we are not trusted because of our long lifespans and because of our innate magical abilities. Even elves have lived long like you, so we have been hunted, hounded, and pushed almost to the brink of extinction to satiate your baseless paranoia. We have been treated so ill. The years I cannot help but regard your sort of cattle. Scarlet scowls. What do you mean by that? Huh? You're not planning to turn us into hamburgers, are you? I cannot say the thought has been crossed my mind. No. I know there are stories that we demons practice cannibalism, but it is not something I have ever had such an interest in. I did not think fox girls would taste very good. It would be much too gamey. I think I'd be plenty delicious to thank you very much. I'm very active, so my meat is probably nice and juicy. Hey! Okay, I see there. Tender too, you won't get a finger fill of a fox girl anywhere. Oh my gosh. Yo, what the heck? Fiori blinks, her expression uncomprehending. My apologies, are you suggesting that you want me to eat you? No, not really. But it is a little offensive you don't even want to try. I would have thought that would be a comfort if you knew I did have a taste for flesh. You would have used that as a reason to take against me even further. I fear I cannot win with you. I do not understand you, and I could not understand Luna either. And she was always in such high spirits even though I had kidnapped her. I thought that she would be afraid of what had occurred and that she would curse me for ripping away her old life. I was certain she would despise me, but instead I was thankful. Softly, Mina smiles. Is she so happy to see how much Fiori cares about Luna? Maybe some of her worst words are being a sewage. I was happy for her everything you did for me, and I told you as much. Yes, I recall it as if it were yesterday. I came to visit you in your chamber. The night of your successful kidnap, I was preparing myself for a torrent of abuse, that or cold, stark fear. I was sure that you would revile me, or else be repulsed. My expectations were very dim. So when I smiled at you, I thank you for helping me out of such a tight situation. You were pretty surprised. Indeed I was. You defied my expectations considerably in a way no other of your kind has ever done before. You were nothing like I imagined you would be. You were very gentle, sweet, and cordial. And I, in the face of your unrelenting kindness, I could not help but become enamored by you. Anybody else had ever regarded me as you did before? After all, my servants all respect me, but have always been too deferential. They see me as some sort of an icon, as opposed to a woman who is capable of making mistakes. And the less said about the way general masses regard me, the better. They tend to be in agreement with the Scarlet Lord of Justice here, that as a demon I am some sort of a monster and I deserve to suffer for my crimes of daring to exist. I too have suffered a good deal of my life, but I think Luna understood that. We might be different species and we have very different upbringings, but we're able to understand one another. That's right. Luna nods sagely. We've both been forced into roles owing the factor we cannot control me. Because of my gift of prophecy and Fiori, because of being born a demon, I have had people praising me ever since I was a young girl, while people have feared and reviled Fury. We both grew up alone and isolated, for different reasons. We aren't the same. We are similar enough that we can understand one another. Fury gives Luna's head another stroke, running her fingers through her tresses. That is why I care for you so much, and why I believe she cares for me. After spending some time with her, I knew I could no longer use her powers for my own selfish gain. Then I would be no better than the people in the temple who had kept her captive. I want to rescue her from the life she had known. She had made her so miserable, and in truth, I had no real interest in continuing to conquer her. I'm sure my subjects think that I am getting soft in my old age, but so be it. The needless shedding of blood has ceased to hold my interest. I no longer want to hurt people. While it is true demons we are still surrounding dislike across Anthem, conquer more of their settlements will not change that. I would like to believe eventually we'll be able to coexist peacefully. But until that day comes, I want to remain in my citadel living alongside Luna. She makes me happy like nobody else, which is all I really want. Oh, Fury. Luna exhales, her face flush. That's how I feel. I too, I don't care about the world beyond the citadel or about conflicts between animal and people and demons. Then let them fight if they wish. It has nothing to do with me. I sacrificed more than 2 decades of my life trying to make people happy, but now I think it's high time I let myself be a little bit selfish. I want to be with you, and I don't care about what anybody else thinks. I see. I smile as I look between Fury and Luna. Both of them standing together, wreathed in sweat and sweet, gentle smiles. It looks like you two care about one another a lot. I was worried when I heard you've kidnapped Luna, but I guess everything really did work out for the best. It did indeed. I've never been happier than enough to satisfy you, Mina. You're such a worrywart. I know you can't help but fuss over me, but this should make it apparent that I don't need you worrying. I'm just fine. I suppose so. I find it hard to accept you to find such happiness in the arms of a woman like this. Mina casts a disparaging look at the Demon Queen, then frowns. But if this is the form of your happiness has taken, who am I to judge? I don't want to question you, Luna, not when you have finally found a degree of joy for yourself. But I am curious. What about... We thought you were planning to use Luna to take Robertson, isn't that right? It was right in the beginning, but how could I do such a thing now? I love her far too much for that. Oh, Fury. Luna sighs dreamily while clasping her cheeks with both hands. When she says that, like that, it makes me fall in love with you even more, which is quite impressive given how I love you so much already. You are the best demon queen a girl could hope to be kidnapped by. As far as I know, I am the only demon queen who's ever kidnapped you, unless you're hiding something from me. Would I ever? Luna titters. You should know all full well that this is an impossibility. I would never want to deceive you. I love you. And I too. 9 years. My life was barren before I met you. I subjugated others simply to satisfy the achieving emptiness deep within me. But I no longer need to do that. You're by more than enough to sustain my heart. Oh, Fury. My beloved Luna. Fury and Luna look into one another's eyes. Their fingers entwined, their soul lost in their own little world. I feel almost bad interrupting. It's clear at a glance they're crazy about one another. They're looking at one another the way I regarded Mina and Scarlet, even like they're madly in love. Part of me wants to beat out Fury's story, but it's a little tricky when she's acting in such a convincing way. There's no way she's lying about this. That makes it even more confusing, however. I'm convinced that Fury wants nothing more to settle down and live a quiet life, but Leisha didn't say anything about that. In fact, it was quite the opposite. It's almost enough to make me wonder. Hey, Leisha, I glanced over at Fury's mate, who was I expected, and gave a startled squeak. Her face is starting to look awfully red, guilty, so in fact, Now I wonder why that might be. Well, I have one or two theories. You told us that Fury was planning to destroy the world. You were adamant about it. In fact, I thought giving you our Fury's mate that you'd be private to all of her schemes. I thought that's where you were a trustworthy source, so I accepted what you said without question. But were you actually lying to us? Yeah, that is weird. Why did you tell us Fury is that big bad when she just wanted to be all lovey-dovey with Luna here? I can't believe I'm saying this, but about a demon, but it doesn't sound like she did anything wrong. Well, I have to agree with you with that statement, I'm afraid. Miss Fury certainly did do something wrong. Kidnapping is still a grave crime, particularly when it comes to a woman as perverted as Priest Luna. Us at the Temple Renata were all scrambling our attempts to locate her, but we were terrified of the implications. And I do not believe Miss Fiore's motives initially were pure. I rather think she did mean to use the priest to bring harm upon Ando. It seems a minor detail, really, that she later changed her mind. However, Ms. Eisner, the fact remains that Miss Fury did change her mind. She has stated that clearly that Luna has confirmed it. I'm not necessarily inclined to believe the words of the Demon Queen. She is not the most trustworthy of the sources, but I do believe Luna. I know that she would never tell any falsehoods. Her heart is much too pure for it. She is a kind, good-natured, well-intentioned girl who wants only the best for others. That being the case, being around Legia, who's shaking at the point, practically from tip to toe. Why did you tell us that your own mistress had whipped designs upon the rest of Anthem? You made us rush here, fearful of what might happen, but our haste was in vain. It seems that Miss Fury was not plotting anything. I quite concur. Why did you bring these so-called adventurers? I don't fail to note how Fury's lips curled when she says the title, but I don't think she told us very high esteem. How do I blame her? The magical energy excluded simply by standing there is intense. To my title, Legia. Why is it almost as if you wish to cause me problems? Well, that is what? Why did you feed us a tissue of lies? What were you hoping to gain by betraying your own mistress? Hey, that's a good point. Why did you turn traitor on Fury here? I understand if she was planning all of this wicked stuff you told us about, but that's obviously not the case. She's, Mina shoots Scarlet glance and backtracks. I mean, she's not wholly innocent, but she's not cackling overlord who you made her out to be. You're spreading some pretty nasty rumors about her. That's not nice. Now when you're supposed to be her maid, it seems rather unprofessional. With a friend like that, who needs enemies? Far be it from me to agree with a cat-eared mage, but I am beginning to feel much the same way myself. What were you hoping to gain from all of this? Did you simply wish to discredit me, or was there another motivation behind your, frankly, rather baffling actions? It's hard to explain, but try me. I would rather a poor explanation than no switch whatsoever. I believe that I am owed at least that much, unless you do not respect me enough to grant me even that small grace? No, milady, not at all. Naturally, I respect you, of course. I respect you a lot, but more than that, Legia swallows. She looks down at her feet, her eyes shimmering with what I think must be unshed tears. She presses both her hands upon her chest, her fingers interlace. Then in a quiet voice she says, I love you, milady. Oh? Fury blinks. She must have been expecting this confession. And to be honest, neither was I, because her brows furrow. A moment passes, a moment during which nobody speaks. There's no sound at all for Legia's labored breath as she tries to stop herself from sobbing. Fury's expression softens, then quietly she says, I don't understand. If you love me, as you say you do, then why did you lead these adventurers to my home? Why did you try to aid them in kidnapping Luna? If you know how much I care for her, and I know you do, I have told you of my feelings for Luna numerous times, then you would know how much such actions would hurt me. Why would you seek to betray me like that? Those are good questions, milady, but unfortunately I don't have any good answers for you. Not any which would satisfy you. All I can tell you is, regrettably, is that I was sacrificing you. I was acting for purely selfish motivations. Yeah, that's a lot of words right there. I was thinking only of myself, and I try not to imagine how you would feel about all of this. If I had, it would have been too painful. I would have been able to carry on, and I've been struggling to carry on for long enough as it is. You see, Lydia claps a hand to her chest and above her heart, which I'm sure must be beating frantically. With wide, frenzied eyes, she stares at Fury, her mistress, whom claimed to adore, and says, "I love you, milady, ever since you rescued me from my old master. I love you the moment I laid my eyes on you. For many, many years. But I feared we could never be together. We were too dissimilar. You were, milady, the great powerful demon queen, and I was nothing but a merry slip of a girl. A drudge that you rescued. I was eternally grateful when you made me your maid because it meant I could spend more time with you, but that served to put an even bigger barrier between us. Seemed unthinkable to me that you would ever return my feelings when I was your lovely servant, so I tried to repress them. I never once confided in you for fear it would turn against me, that it would make you despise me. I didn't want to give you any reason to fire me, not when I had to come to care for you so very much. I told myself if I could remain by your side, then that was enough to make me happy. You didn't need to return my feelings. I thought that would be enough, until she came for here. She? Fury frowns. By that, do you mean Luna? Yes, that's right. I saw you fall in love with her during but a scant week, though you had known me for years already. I saw the way you fussed over her. I saw the way you spoke to her. I saw how anxious you were to make a good impression on her. How's your mood softened whenever I spoke of her? And I saw how much you favored her, how much you adored her, and it destroyed me inside. I was so jealous I couldn't stand it. It hurt so much. So much seeing you fawn over Luna that I could no longer bear to be around you. I knew I couldn't leave your side, though not when I adore you so much. I couldn't bring myself to quit, so instead I tried to split you and Luna up. I was certain that the adventurers would begin sniffling around for Luna eventually, so I decided to lend them a hand. And I was being sneaky going behind your back like that, but I told myself it was for the greater good. I told myself I was just setting things right, returning Luna to where she belonged. I just wanted things to go back to the way how they were before, you and me living together in related peace and comfort. But I was a fool. I should have known that by inviting outsiders to your glorious title, it would result in chaos. As much as I began to resent Luna, I never really blamed her for what happened, and I never wanted her to get hurt either. I never wanted any of this to happen. Lisa smiles wantonly, her hand still resting against her chest, her shoulders shaking. But it's probably hard to believe that now when I caused so many problems, it's all my fault that your citadel was infiltrated, that it's my fault your beloved Luna was hurt. I caused you no end of my problems by skulking around as I did, much more so than a lowly maid ever should. My behavior has been inexcusable, and I'm very sorry for causing so many problems. I hope that you could forgive me, but I would not beg for it. I would not expect it either. After everything I did not think I deserve it. You're the most important person to me in the world, milady, and how did I repay you? I tried to separate you from the woman that you love, and I never once told you how I felt. I really am a coward. Lydia's eyes were damping throughout her little speech. But how? But now they begin to moisten in earnest. Her lashes distribute her tears, which trickles down her face, oozing against her skin like condensation. She's crying so much her face is already beginning to look botchly. Her shoulders meanwhile are shaking badly as if she might fall apart at any moment. She looks so small and slender, especially in comparison to Fury, who's very tall, it's hard for me to not feel sorry for her. She might have caused no end of problems, yes, but I think she's being sincere when she says she did it out of love. And that's the end of today's video right here, everyone. Everything has to be done out of love, even if it caused chaos and so much and so forth. But thankfully, it's all better right now. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the server if you guys are new, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one.